I'm inside your head. I'm inside your head. No, stop kissing him. Stop kissing him. Stop kissing him.
Stop that.
Stop kissing him. Stop kissing him.
The reason I say let me finish for cigarettes is I don't like smoking on camera.
You're aware that, smoking is one of the things that makes everyone look cooler on camera?
20% cooler.
I'm inside your head!
Yes, but there's a small chance people who I don't want to know that I smoke could see these.
Very unlikely. You would have to wonder why they were looking at the Amanda Hagan videos.
No, because you tag them on a carrier. Or at least they get tagged on a carrier online.
Do they?
It's one of the things that pops up if you search on a carrier on Google.
Fascinating.
Which is an email address I've stopped using with people who don't want to know things, but...
Well, on the off chance that that has happened, and you are a person who does not know that Anarcharian smokes, and you missed that, look over here. There's a car.
I preferred the vlogs with the static camera, to be honest.
Well, we're going to put the static camera in there. It's just until you're ready. I'm in your head.
I'm in your line head.
It's really annoying to act that part, because, when I have to do bits that need some voiceover that I have to dub in later on, I always leave it so I have line, and then I have the space so I can do a camera cut. So I don't need to have like line voiceover, because timing that is a fucking bitch, because you're trying to remember the lines and you're trying to remember the timings. So if you notice, almost always if I ever have something like that, where I'm doing voiceover and to camera at once, I will use cuts. I did a lot of this in the Minion Nurses Find Ecstasy review.
You also pointed out the Amanda Hagan review.
Yeah, but I always make sure I cut. So, at most I would have 3 bits. This one has got some bits of 27 bits. So, on that level, the woman who was possessed, when she was doing to camera, she was doing very well. Just unfortunately, when she was doing voiceover, it's like all of her quality was not.
So we went to see The Host.
The hostess with the mostest.
We didn't go and see The Host, actually.
The best bit of The Host was? It was the bit whenever the giant monster attacked Seoul, and this random American guy was all like, I'm gonna save the day, and he gets killed. It had a very depressing ending, but enough about the good film called The Host, which came out several years ago. What about the bad film that's called The Host?
Well, we went to see that other film. We decided on that while I was eating a burger beforehand.
Yeah, we were, when I left us today, we were like, we see The Host, we see Dark Skies. We don't know anything about Dark Skies. It's a horror movie, but we have no idea what the fuck it's about. I was guessing aliens because of the 90s TV show, and what were you thinking?
I don't know. I was just thinking I was hoping some sort of Hammer horror.
Ah, okay. So we were thinking, then we went in there to see it. We decided, okay, we'll see it. It's shorter. It's completely blind. We'll go to see it.
It starts slightly earlier.
Yeah, and it gets out much earlier. So it's like, and they're like, oh no, sorry, it's not on.
No, they weren't. They said, I don't think we're showing that at all. There's 6 posters up for it.
Yeah, and then we look at the little booklet thing. It's not on until tomorrow. So it's his fault we're not seeing it, because we would have seen stuff tomorrow if it wasn't for his car being banjaxed. Americans have no idea what that word means.
Banjaxed?
Yeah.
It's a good word.
I know it is.
Silly Americans.
Yep. So anyway, yeah, that's why we saw The Host, and
it was a bit shit.
A bit.
The director of photography did a very good job. From the way it was shot, you wouldn't expect it to be a shit film.
Andrew Niccol, you directed Gattaca. You wrote The Truman Show. I haven't been this disappointed with someone who's good working on a Stephanie Meyer-related thing since Bill Condon did Breaking Dawn. Bill Condon did fucking Gods and Monsters. Seriously, Shadow the Vampire, Gods and Monsters, Ed Wood. Classic 3-film thing to watch.
Okay, so there are these aliens that come to Earth, and they possess the heads of people on Earth
They possess the rest of them as well.
Okay, they crawl into the heads of people on Earth and try to possess their bodies to take over Earth and have a completely perfect society. And then there's a small human resistance packet that eventually learns the secret to taking the things out of the heads. But enough about the Animorphs. Let's talk about The Host.
The aliens ran Earth better than the humans did.
Well, yeah, but they had built several utopias and stuff.
Yeah, it just, the message of this film is that humans are shit.
Well, humans are shit.
Yeah, humans are shit, and the rest of the universe should keep away from them. Because apparently we are so shit that we can't be made to be nice through anything but coercion. Seriously, the Intergalactic Federation should either ignore the planet or should just disintegrate it, Vogon Destructor Fleet style. And I'm not talking about the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie, I'm talking the early 80s TV show or the radio.
Or the books.
Or the books.
One thing that really got me, okay, so the aliens are pretty much said that they're parasites, they need the host to survive.
Spoilers!
Oh, I'm still talking about the Animorphs. No, I'm talking about this. The aliens, yeah, they need the host to survive. And then it's heavily implied whenever they're in transit between planets that they are not conscious. So what they've done to punish the alien and send her away was give her a trip in cryostasis.
Cryostasis.
Yeah, to the aliens, to the soul that they sent away, to the farthest end of the galaxy that they could.
To another planet where they're going to have a better time because they're not having to be all like,
yeah.
rah, rah,
to a planet
host.
where the host is completely complacent and their society rules, or rather their society rules in some sort of arrangement that they couldn't make on Earth, couldn't do that where the two societies are living in harmony.
This is the equivalent of people on the very borders of the Roman Empire fighting back against the evil invading Romans by taking Romans captive and then sending them while asleep on, back to, I don't know, Capua or something, where they can just live on a beachfront property near Rome and be all like, wow, that worked out pretty well for me.
And giving them a retirement fund.
Yeah.
It's like, you were a bitch, have a holiday.
I want to know where they're getting the spaceships from, because they said, the woman stole one spaceship. Why was the spaceship being kept in the hospital? And so, where are the rest of them coming from?
I don't know.
Like, they could have used the soul thing for that one person, and then afterwards, if they just had, I don't know, like one of their magic volcano utopia, sort of under the, big dome sort of biosphere type thing, why couldn't they have, like, one whole thing which had a herd of cows in it, and then you put the souls inside the cows?
Also,
I know this was pretty much done in the Fantastic Four with Skrulls, and then
Jesus did it.
They were turned into hamburgers, and then that's how some supervillains got their powers. But I think that could work.
Jesus done that with pigs and demons.
Fantastic Four is better.
And Jesus?
Yes.
Potentially.
Can Jesus stretch? Can Jesus set himself on fire?
Well,
Does Jesus yell, "It's clobbering time"? Okay, well, that time in the temple, I know, but still.
It's clobbering time!
I suppose he could do a rough version of the Invisible Woman's powers, because, walking on water, that could be him, like, walking in an invisible force field. And him moving in mysterious ways, that could just be him being invisible.
Also, the humans in this film were completely and utterly stupid. They're doing this mission. The mission is infiltrate the society, go to the shop and steal shit. The shop that operates on the principle of you walk in and you take shit anyway.
It's not called a store. Well, okay, then their term store
was accurate.
Yeah, but not in the context that it's usually used in America right today.
Oh, yes, but the term store itself was completely accurate. It's literally a quartermaster store. But whenever they're stealthily breaking into this store, not during opening hours, dress in a way that none of the possessed people dress, in vehicles that are, while seem to be common or very distinctive for humans, they get stopped by a guy who is one of the seekers or policemen things. And instead of stealing his clothes and his car so that they can make completely covert trips and get whatever the fuck they want 5 times a day.
And plus, apart from that, who would not want a chrome-covered sports car?
Anybody who doesn't like dents.
I don't give a shit about cars in general, but those were sexy sports cars.
Also, they were Lotus Esprits. They're pretty damn sexy.
It's the chrome. It's the silvery thing. Silver, platinum, chrome, it's a much sexier metal than gold.
Oh yes, I agree. Gold is awful, but...
Yeah, gold is gaudy. Silver is boss.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But a chrome car doesn't stay chrome for very long.
I can believe that.
Yeah. But no, the perfect thing to do there. It wouldn't have been, no racing, haha, oh look, I'm breaking the speed limit, now everybody dies because I'm a retard. It would have been, hey, we've got 4 guys here, we've got 2 trucks, and this handy vehicle that this man has clearly left the ignition running in.
Yeah, they left the ignition running with the lights on. It's like, oh look, the lights are there and they're flashing.
Why not take the vehicle? Take it to your parking garage. Go to the store whenever the fuck you want.
It would have been much more realistic if someone had spotted that car and worked out where they were and then, followed them that way. Because if you notice, after one of the trucks, which was speeding in this film, even though they were told not to fucking speed but they're idiots, they kill themselves by crashing into a wall. But then afterwards, the other truck sort of slowly drives off like all the other ones. Yet the aliens know exactly who is in the other one. They know they're humans and they follow them, even though they are right behind another identical-looking truck going the same way.
Yep.
It's like, how the fuck did they know that those ones were fucking humans?
Why did they remove the license plates from the trucks?
If they just had the person, tracking those two trucks, because of their idiocy with the car, that would have actually made logical sense.
If they had left license plates on the vehicles, the whole film would have been a lot shorter. And the human resistance movement would have been fucked. Also, the human resistance movement, this is established to be sometime in the future, right? At least it feels like it's set in the future. There was nothing in the caves from beyond 1980. They had sort of...
William Hurt was a survivalist. He didn't give a shit about the future.
Yeah, but you could have got a fridge that wasn't 30 years old.
Then it wouldn't have looked quite so dramatic and dusty. Ooh. I want to know why the doctor's office was basically like a regular office from a 1960s newspaper.
Yes, it was the...
I can understand things being makeshift and shit, but...
It was J. Jonah Jameson's office that had been stripped out.
Yeah, I can understand things being makeshift, because it's old and everything's shit and they've been stuck there for 10 years. But you're in the middle of a half-dead volcano in the middle of the fucking desert that no one gets to. How did you take apart a newspaper office and rebuild it inside the volcano?
It was great that they found those hot springs.
And it was absolutely great that they managed to carve those, tunnels and stuff. Or were the tunnels already there? Because I know, like, the Anasazi, I think it was, were a Native American group who lived in places like that.
I loved how the cell they put her in was perfectly squared off. But then for good measure they put some gunk in the corners so that it wasn't perfectly squared off, to make it look more cavey.
Andrew Niccol, you did Gattaca. Why? Why?
The acting in this movie,
William Hurt? Dude, bit of advice. Because, William Hurt watches my videos, this I am sure of. Keep away from sci-fi. Lost in Space, this... Dune, the TV show, which was the parade of silly hats. Keep away from fucking sci-fi. I mean, you're fine in other things. Just if you see a movie and it's got like aliens or cloning, this one has cloning as well, but they don't actually understand that. They don't actually tell you that. But if you have anything like that,
it's not cloning. That's just
run away.
That was just inbreeding.
It's like, okay, every single character in this
look the fucking same.
Well, you got all the main, the 3 main guys who are all young, dirty blonde hair, and look the same.
And
except one of them, they all look the same, except one guy looked a little bit more like David Bowie than the other 2.
Yes.
But then, of course, all the idiots who got themselves killed in the truck, one of those was a fat black guy, and the other guy had black hair. It's like, if you are not blonde, thin, with dirty blonde hair, and grimy for some reason, you must not. You are going to be killed because you are, I don't know, inferior.
Everybody apart from the main characters was clean. And in fact, you saw some other men in the compound dressed up as, like, I don't know, 1930s cotton pickers or something. I don't know where the fuck they were getting their clothes, but hey, who were nice and fucking clean and clean-shaven. But the 3 main character men and the old woman and fucking...
This dirt is expensive, Aaron.
It's dirt!
It's imported.
You pick it up and you rub it on your face. I don't know why you were doing it, but they were.
And then there's this bit where the villain woman kills one of their random guys, and they're like, oh my god, it's blah blah blah. Honestly, because the guy was black, because the only black guy that that they ever recognized as an actual person seemed to be Dr. Obama.
Yes, I noticed. He looked like a very young Obama.
I assumed he wasn't part of their gang. He wasn't thin, white, 20s, and with dirty blonde hair, so it's like, I assume he's not actually a proper character, or he's not one of their team.
Remember, in the future there are no contact lenses.
You ever seen the Japanese show Starfleet? In that, it's the future, and a third of the human race have ginger hair, so I'm sure there's some sort of genetics wars, and the gingers won. This is similar. This is after some sort of apocalypse, where the dirty blonde people who are white have killed 80% of everyone else.
This entire movie, they go through trying to disguise their eyes, because if an alien's in the back of your brain, you have white glowy rings around your irises.
Yeah, how does that work even genetically?
How does that work even on a projectoral level? The ring was above the iris. You saw shots where it was floating about here. Like, Jesus, how the fuck does that work with physics? Never mind biology.
In Dune, at least you have several months on Arrakis before the spice makes your eyes go blue, and this one is just like, oh, alien in there, you're suddenly Peter McNichol in Ghostbusters 2.
No, you've got headlights.
Yeah, you ever seen Ghostbusters 2?
Not,
Peter McNichol walks down the corridor, he turns on, the lights are off, so he turns on his eyes, and suddenly he's got headlights in his eyes. It's like that, but not
with headlights.
But nowhere near as good, because Ghostbusters 2 is a misunderstood classic.
Also, there were a few shots where they forgot to do the eyes properly.
Yeah, I noticed that with the main woman. I thought that was moments when the other woman was in control.
No, that would have been interesting.
That would have been intelligent.
Yes.
Okay, you got the idea of alien and taking over human body, and you got the person living inside their head, and you've got a fight.
Go and watch the Andalite Chronicles. It's a better way to do it.
You get all that, and you got like love and stuff. This film really needs someone like Stanley Kubrick who would just throw the book away and sort of do something interesting with it. Here's my suggestion. Woman gets taken over by alien. Alien falls in love with woman who only exists inside her head. Then at the end, if you got to remove the alien and put another body, then you have them being the couple. It's like, okay, you got the idea that relationships turn two people into one flesh. This is like that, made literal in reverse. I have just come up with a better concept for a host movie than that. Give me money.
Also, the aliens will come out of the head with warmth. Now, they were dying because the humans were fearing and hating them.
Good.
Welcome to fucking Earth! You're all fucking dead! Have you seen the amount of hate and fear even a small amount of humans can produce? Well, you have. I don't know about you, Internet. Some of you have.
I don't know. This is actually reminding me. This is like a 2-hour bad episode of the 1990s Outer Limits.
2 hours? I felt like 4.
It's 2 hours 5 minutes.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure there is a story in the Outer Limits which is very similar to that. Now, this is completely off topic, but find a copy of an episode of the Outer Limits 90s show called The Dren. I think it's called The Dren, The Dreb, something like that. It's the name of an alien show. It's got like 5 letters. It's fucking District 9. 15 years early. I never did a vlog for District 9, so I didn't get to rant about this. But The Dren, you've got aliens come to Earth. And they're sort of, intermixed with human society. The humans treat them like shit. You have this guy who's involved in government affairs with the aliens. He ends up getting connected up with the aliens and starts mutating into one and used it as a learning experience to become a better person. It's fucking District 9! Now this, I'm pretty sure, this was done in an episode of Outer Limits, but then again, they had so many episodes that pretty much every sci-fi plot
was done. That's what I was about to say. The Outer Limits, the X-Files, what'd you call it?
No, the X-Files being a show that has continuity is, well, continuity. Outer Limits had like 7 seasons, and it's an anthology show.
I'm just saying, the Outer Limits, all those, whatever the fuck the one I'm thinking about is called, and the X-Files, they've done every sci-fi plot
Twilight
ever.
Zone, no?
Yes, Twilight Zone. That's
Twilight Zone, Night Gallery.
I really wanted to call it the Scary Door. That's how fucked my head is.
Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I love anthology shows.
Anthology shows are good.
You really need to think, be imaginative for anthology shows. But Twilight Zone, okay, this is the rule of thumb that's not always accurate. If it's fantasy, it's Twilight Zone. If it's sci-fi, it's Outer Limits.
If it's Mulder and Scully, both of which I would bet, it's X-Files. And yes, I realize
Or
I
it's The
mispronounced
Simpsons.
Scully. I don't like yellow people. Jaundice is serious.
No, I'm saying that they were in The Simpsons. Though.
I know they were in The Simpsons.
So
Everybody's been in the fucking Simpsons.
I haven't. So they put the alien woman, even though she wants to die, they put her into a new body, and
Cop-out ending.
now they apparently had her in like stasis for like a month, and then they were like, oh look, we've got a new body for you, and they're stick her in there.
That stasis for a month, by the way, is the main reason I think that they're in stasis when they're traveling.
Yeah, because she was like, oh, I'm dead. Oh no, I'm awake again. Now this woman, the body they put her into, it's a woman's body. I'm just wondering, isn't it lucky that the first person they came across who died as soon as their alien was taken out was a fucking woman who was roughly the same age as the other ones? Why couldn't it have been like a 75-year-old man?
Why couldn't it have been a 3-year-old boy?
That would have been even better, although there would have been the imprinting thing, insert Jacob joke here. Although I have to say,
It wasn't Edward and Jacob fucking... Oh my god! Oh, it was Edward and Jacob in reverse.
I have to say though, they were very brave in getting Sophie Ellis-Bextor to play the woman who was getting possessed at the end. If you don't know who that is, pop star years ago.
Anybody seen Spy Kids will know what I mean whenever I say rubberized floop. She looked like Snow White made of rubberized floop. Have you seen Spy Kids?
No.
Oh, don't bother.
To be honest, the woman there. It is really nice to see someone who is not classically attractive appearing in a role like that.
They had a lot of not classically attractive people in this.
But they tended to be very small parts.
And the casting director did good, apart from sandy-haired people.
But with her, it's like, this is supposed to be like, oh, this is the body that this person's going to be in love with. So they could have gone for someone a lot more conventionally attractive. The woman, I'm trying my best not to be nasty to her looks because, hello, look at me. But
it was the makeup department as well. She was far too heavily made up for somebody who's just had major surgery.
I thought she looked more like a character. She should, someone who would usually be doing character roles.
Or Spitting Image.
Maybe. There's other things we can bitch about this.
The problem is, you're watching this because you love us nitpicking. We are very, very good at nitpicking. But if we start nitpicking this movie, there's more...
How did they get access to the transporter thing? It's like you've got this thing that can send little aliens, which is really easy to get spaceships, and that are aliens are really easy to remove, and and you can just walk up to them.
Because it's the super communist society, it doesn't need guards. But back to my point, nitpicky things about this film are the entire thing.
I have to say, wait, you've got the humans walking around in an alien invasion wearing random sunglasses, and you've got everything capitalistic is just written in big words like store, tomato juice. You got stuff like that. I think they were trying to do something about They Live. You failed. Don't remind me of They Live during your film. I want to watch They Live.
I want to go hang out in the volcano. That location was pretty nice.
No, it wasn't.
I like stuff like that.
That's your fault.
They shot parts of Thingy there.
That's your problem.
All of the Old West movies. It was the same fucking set of mountains.
Basquez Rocks and all that?
Yeah, it's close to there. I've seen that location used in several films. Also, it's an active volcano, and they're clearly using mirrors at the top of the volcano mouth, and the helicopter flies over about 5 times and doesn't go anywhere fucking near the mouth of a volcano. Oh yeah, and the line, it's an extinct volcano that's not quite extinct. Then it's not a fucking extinct volcano! I'm turning into you.
During my reviews. I could do a very long review based on this. This is actually my first Stephanie Meyer film. I haven't watched any of the Twilight ones simply because at some point we are going to do a film by film marathon of Twilight.
Omnibus.
It will be horrifying. What else?
We want to do it with Tyler though. He's not sure when he's going to be over.
Well, whenever you get, if you know, as soon as he's here, I'm here. You know, you get as much alcohol as you want. There is other things.
The whole thing was shit. The plot was stupid, long and drawn out. The pacing was bad. The acting was terrible. Some of the shots, while beautiful and pretty, were not fitting for sci-fi. The soundtrack was picked poorly. It made the horrific rape at the start. You know, the rape and take over the body, not the sexual assault. It made that... It was...
The guys at the start, the first time that she meets up with the guy who becomes her boyfriend, you know...
Holy shit, you're human!
And then later on, it's like, you know, 2 years later, and he's like, ever since the first night we met, you haven't kissed me. And I was like, only one sexual assault per customer, darling.
Oh,
I had an idea. I don't know if I'll do this, but I should totally take the entire Island of Dr. Moreau review, and I should add in echoey protests from Justin, Darren, and Kyle. Just sort of, you know, when I'm trying to do the... No, stop reviewing this. I don't like this film. Oh, no, stop. Why are you putting my penis in his ass? No. Oh, no. Oh, God. You're gross.
It would make for an interesting reference. That's another thing. The sound man went completely overboard with the reverb on this. I get it. Voices echo in caves. Not everything must sound like this at all times. Not every whisper and line must be melodramatic.
Indeed, Batman.
Shut up, Bane.
Now, I'm possessing you. What are we doing there?
It's okay, camera.
No.
She's fine in my head.
Oh, this will amuse some people. What is the
Breasts?
No. Now, what is the proper... There we go. Now, what is the protocol for wearing your coworker on your chest? Of course.
Buy them breakfast first?
Hope so.
Or do you buy them breakfast afterwards? I never get the protocol for that right.
I was, yes,
I was
I was advertising Tig with Tig while watching this. Isn't it wonderful? We were the first in the fucking queue.
I was about to point that out.
There was a fucking queue.
We were like, I suppose I'm done with my burger. Let's go in, and we're like, I suppose we better watch the host. Got the tickets, got the food, stood there and chatted for a while. I took a phone call from my mother. We're like, hey, can we get in to sit down? And they're like, down the queue. And we're like, there's no queue. Stand over there. Except, actually, no, they were decent people and stuff. I'm just being melodramatic. But we were the first in quite a long queue to get in to see a Stephanie Meyer movie. This was the lowest point in my career as a movie reviewer sidekick.
You know, the sad thing is, this might not actually be the worst film we've sat here and vlogged together. Magic Mike.
I still have mixed feelings about that. It was a shitty film, but I enjoyed it. I thought you were going to say the sad thing is you're not even my sidekick. I was going to cry.
I've never kicked your side.
I stomped your foot.
Yes, you did when we were filming. Anyway, guys,
don't go and see this for the love of God.
Don't go and see this for the love of his God.
Don't go and see this for the love of your own fucking... Don't even go and see this if you have no love for anything and hate the world and want to kill yourself. Don't go and see this movie.
This film would give him justification.
Not quite.
Nearly. It's just not good.
It's just... shit.
It's a bad episode of 1990s Outer Limits.
They could have probably cut it down to about the length of one episode of Outer Limits.
Probably. Anyway, next week, assuming that it's on, we're going to probably see Dark Skies, and hopefully within the week after that we're not going to find out what it's about, because it'll be interesting going to that completely blind.
I say we do go to that completely blind.
We'll do our best.
Oh, what was that film we saw at the start, the trailer for?
Which one? Iron Man 3?
No, the Brad Pitt one.
Do you mean the Tom Cruise one?
Yes.
The one about the Oblivion.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Looked like a sci-fi action film.
Okay, it looked like.
I'm guessing
something I would
that
enjoy.
Tom Cruise is actually working for the aliens and the humans are actually on the Earth, or they're humans versus humans, or something like that.
Oh, it'll be something stupid, but I like the way the trailer was shot.
It
It's like the trailer for the host. The trailer for the host looked okay.
No, it didn't.
Well, I like trailers.
That's your problem.
Well, you like trailers too, but you like weird trailers.
It depends on the trailers. Admittedly, I have a soft spot for the trailer for Zardoz. Just because it screams Zardoz at you all the time.
I have a soft spot for the trailer for Colonel Kill Motherfuckers.
Colonel Kill Motherfuckers.
Colonel Kill Motherfuckers.
Colonel Kill Motherfuckers? What does that even mean? It means we're fucked.
Nixon and Hogan marathon on. Oh my god.
Hmm?
If we can get enough people to the VIP cinema in Belfast, we could get them to put on a Nixon and Hogan marathon.
What's a VIP cinema in Belfast?
There's a cinema with a small number of seats, and they're all lazy boys.
Oh, I was in one of those in Thailand.
But if you get more than 20 people in a party, they will put on a film of your request. I know this because I requested Snow White one year. For my sister because it was her birthday. But I organised it.
Ah, well, we could maybe do that. Though, the hack movies, I'm slowly reviewing them over and over. I don't know, I think the next one might be Colonel Kill that I do.
Okay.
But, yeah. This is not good.
I hit myself in the face too many times. My head hurts.
Oblivion looks like Inception, it looks like Looper. It looks like generic sci-fi that gets a pass and gets called really, really good by a lot of people just because it's not a fucking sequel or remake or adaptation of something.
It has Tom Cruise as he looked in Jack Reacher.
Don't give a shit.
And I thought he was hot in Jack Reacher.
That's your problem.
It's not a problem.
It's a very big problem.
Tom
Unlike
Cruise-
Tom Cruise, who is not a very big problem.
I know.
He's a very small problem.
He could sit in my lap quite
You could
comfortably.
put him into a small... You can put him in your glove compartment.
I could put him in my anus.
Yeah, the entire of him. Now, you see, you're worried about people seeing you smoking on camera. You're not worried about them hearing that.
Well, that's because that's funny. Smoking kills. It's really bad
I'm
for
pretty
you.
sure the people who have problems with you smoking would also have problems with that and would say things like sticking Tom Cruise in your anus would kill you.
No, you see, prospective employers who search my email address, some of them have, finding videos of me talking about sticking Tom Cruise in my anus, will laugh their balls off. If they see videos of me smoking, they'll be like, he'll take too many breaks. That's what this is about. I don't take extra smoke breaks, I just take the breaks that are allotted to me by law.
Let's go home.